It's no secret that the weapons on Black Ops 4 Zombies aren't the best. They just aren't, and that's not necessarily down to the guns themselves just being bad. I mean, in some cases it is, but for the most part it comes down to the pack-a-punch system and having multiple tiers of damage. That really only makes weapons effective up until about round 30. However, there was one gun many years ago that stood above all. It was the king of guns in Black Ops 4, and it was a shotgun by the name of the Mark 12. Pre-patch Mark 12 might genuinely go down as one of the most broken guns we've ever seen in Zombies, but after numerous nerfs over Black Ops 4's life cycle, the Mark 12 was brought down from its pedestal and thrown to the dregs with the rest of the guns in Black Ops 4. So today, I am going to be attempting to get to as high a round as possible, using not only the Mark 12, but any shotgun I can get my hands on 9. I also just want to address the elephant in the room real quick. Over the weekend just gone, my channel was hacked. I got debated by something that I thought was a brand deal, and in return someone breached my PC and managed to lock me out of all of my accounts and took control of my YouTube channel. I did already make a short video about this on Monday when I reclaimed access to my accounts and my channel, but for those of you who may not have seen that video, well, here you go. Thankfully, everything was sorted pretty quickly with the help of Team YouTube, who basically just steamrolled whoever had control of my accounts, and within about 12 to 15 hours, I had literally everything back. So, we're all good. Nothing to worry about anymore. Well, other than my mental that is about to take one hell of a beating in this challenge. First attempt, we spawn in with the Mark 12 and start grinding out some points. Beginning of round 3, I head up to the first altar to get things rolling. I take out the Tigers and afterwards picked up the Trebuchet. Now you might also notice that I am running Mule Kick, which is usually a no-go for me, but as shotguns don't exactly come with a whole plethora of ammo, I thought that maybe running a third weapon wouldn't be such a bad idea. Round 4, and the next champion is up. I managed to get myself an insta-kill, which honestly just makes the fight unfair, and before long the second champion is down. At this point I was between two minds, one being do I buy Mule Kick and try and get that third gun sooner rather than later, or do I finish getting Pack-a-Punch? To which I chose Pack-a-Punch. And on round 6 I got both Zeus and Odin's champions taken out. From there I headed to Pack-a-Punch and almost immediately got myself killed. As the Pack-a-Punch is still being activated, I tried to train together the zombies, which just backfired straight away, and I got myself trapped amongst a whole bunch of zombies, but luckily my special weapon was charged, which is allowed this time around as I am using the Dragon and Viper. I mean, I at least hope the Dragon part of this is a shotgun, but yeah, I counted it anyway. Shortly after my breath coming together with death, I decided that now would be the best time to get my guns upgraded. But instead of upgrading both of my guns to tier 1, I opted to just go full on with the MOG and upgrade it as much as possible. The main reason to this was mainly down to the fact that the Trebuchet basically becomes a grenade launcher once upgraded, and considering I didn't yet have PhD, I knew I'd be blowing myself up if I went down that route. Although that idea of safety didn't last too long, as after I got my second upgrade of the MOG, I Pack-a-Punched the Trebuchet anyway. You know, sometimes you gotta live life vicariously, even if that does potentially mean blowing yourself up. Round 10, the MOG got another upgrade, but finally on round 12, I went and got myself some perks, with my first purchase being PhD, closely followed up with Winter's Wail. This run was already beginning to look like a promising one. My guns were already well on their way to being maxed out, and by round 16, I had all 4 of my perks, which now meant it was time for me to try and get my third gun, which I didn't get until round 20. It took me 4 full rounds of running around like an idiot and constantly spinning the box until I got one. Just one gun. But it was the Rampage, so I wasn't that mad in the end. I was mad when I Pack-a-Punched it though, because it sucked. This thing has the range of the rock and the damage of a wet noodle. It isn't good. However, the MOG and the Trebuchet are pretty good. Well, for the time being at least anyway. All the way through the 20s, both of these guns are putting down zombies with ease, especially the Trebuchet. Having that grenade launcher, which now I'd say allowed, kind of feels like cheating, but we're just not going to mention that just yet, you know? It is just insanely overpowered and I love it. But there is a cutoff. As I previously mentioned, guns in this game just seem to curl up and die once you hit round 30. And all 3 of my weapons did exactly that. With round 30 came my first down of the game as well. The trebuchet at this point is now a 2-hit kill, and then some if the purifier zombies are around. I'm blasting zombies all over the place until I need to reload, so I back off a bit only to get myself trapped, and as I no longer one-hit zombies, there's no escape and I take a down. A pretty cheap one, but a down nonetheless. This small little failure would seemingly be the beginning of my downfall. I reclaim my perks on round 30, and from there I end up in the arena, where I proceed to stay for a few rounds. Things get a little spicy towards the end of round 32, so I headed back down into the tunnel, where I just feel, a little bit more confident. Although I shouldn't have, as shortly later I would end up taking a second down. Annoyingly, upon reviving, I was surrounded by zombies and a blight father, which ultimately ended with my demise. Round 33 with shotguns on 9 isn't awful, but I had a feeling I could do better, so I ran it back. This time around, I switched things up a little. One of the most popular high round strats on this game is to use Stone Cold Stronghold and pair it with the Hellion, and pretty much just decimate everything. Well, obviously, I can't use the Hellion, but I did have the next best thing in the trebuchet. I hope you see where I'm going with this. I load into 9 and get things going straight from the start. By the end of round 6, the Pack-a-Punch is open and the Mog is upgraded. From here, I went and got my first 2 perks of the game in PhD and Stronghold. This is where I then thought it might be a good idea to get some practice in. Between rounds 12 and 16, I was attempting to get both of my guns fully upgraded, or at least upgraded as much as I could, and with this, instead of running around and grinding together my points, I planted myself in front of the Pack-a-Punch and let the Trebuchet and Stone Cold Stronghold do their thing. I won't lie, this little experiment was a bit of a roller coaster. It started off super easy, nothing got close, and if anything did, it just got turned into a stew. However, things got really hairy a few rounds later as more special enemies and more sprinters showed up, meaning my head basically had to be on a swivel to make sure I didn't get bombarded by death. But once I got used to it, it was smooth sailing until the end of round 16, once I got both of my guns fully maxed. But this is where the real strat came into play. As the Trebuchet is a war gun, the idea was to plant myself in front of said warby and just kill anything and everything that came close. This was a decent idea at first, and for a couple of rounds worked pretty well. Until it didn't. The second I crossed round 20, I was screwed. Zombies began to overwhelm the hell out of me and I'd take it down. I recover my perks and head back to the same spot because apparently I don't learn. I make it through a couple more rounds, but on round 24 I end up taking 2 downs, which subsequently ends the run. So my idea didn't work out too well, but I did have one more plan. This time, instead of just running around or trying to camp inside the stronghold field, I decided I'd try and combine each strategy. Yeah, you see, sometimes my brain does work. This run started off like the others, with me getting Pack-a-Punch up and running, and the upgrade process started on the Mog as soon as possible. By round 12, the Mog was fully upgraded, and now I went off to buy my perks, of which I had 3 of the 4 bought by the end of round 13. For some reason, I didn't buy stamina up until round 19. Yeah. I don't know why either. In the meantime, I got my guns fully upgraded and the shield built. The combination of moving around the map and having what was basically a transportable damage boost was pretty nice. For some reason, in the mid-20s, I tried to retry the strat from the last attempt. No idea why I did this, but I seemingly thought the same, as only 2 rounds later, I was back in the tunnel running around in circles. That was until round 28, which may just be the worst round of zombies I've played in quite some time. See, I went down in this round twice within the space of 90 seconds. Beginning of the round, I'm blasting zombies, not really paying attention, and I back myself into a crowd of zombies and take the down. A little frustrating, but no biggie. I recover my perks and then almost straight after take the second down, as I just get overwhelmed by zombies in the Zeus temple. So I recover my perks once again, but this time I didn't die. We make it to round 31, where I come up with a genius level idea, and that idea was to stand by the rotating spike trap thing, so all the zombies heading in from the pit would get turned into Swiss cheese, and then I'd be able to focus solely on everything coming right at me. And this plan was working pretty well too, keeping me safe all the way until round 36, and well, what happened around 36 you may ask? I died. Too many purifier zombies spawned, making each normal zombie the equivalent of a walking tank, and they just abused me in the corner. By the time I realized this was a death trap, it was too late and I was already dead. Round 36 isn't too bad with just shotguns on this game, but it could have been better. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.